Welcome to Frywall Fridays. As you've noticed, we do our best to cook with the seasons, and late spring, early summer is a great time to cook with herbs. This time of year, herbs tend to be succulent and a little bit sweet, and not tend towards the more fibrous vegetal type notes that you get later on in the summer. So today we're going to be using tarragon, which has a wonderful slight licorice flavor that really blends beautifully with chicken. So we're going to do tarragon, chicken, a little bit of chives in there as well as lemon, kind of four flavors that melt together really beautifully. It's a simple recipe, about 20 minutes of active cooking time, an hour total, really great, really celebrates the season. Let's get started. For our chicken, we have 8 pieces of bone-in chicken. That's going to be enough for between 4 and 6 people, depending on what else you have as side dishes and for an appetizer. We have lemon, we have our herbs, we have garlic, shallots, white wine, broth, chicken broth, and heavy cream. Apart from that, there's going to be salt, pepper, and some oil. I'm going to start by putting salt and pepper on both sides of the chicken, and I'm going to let the chicken rest outside while I prepare the other ingredients. It's nice to let the chicken come up to room temperature before cooking. I find that the chicken cooks more evenly, and also it's less likely to stick to your pan. Next, I'm going to finely mince the shallots, and then we'll chop up the garlic nice and fine. Next, I'm going to finely chop up about a tablespoon of the tarragon. I'll leave a couple of sprigs on the side to garnish the final dish with. And then I'm going to finally chop up some chives. I probably have about a tablespoon here. I won't use quite that much. I'll just sprinkle a bit on at the end. I don't want to overwhelm it with the chive flavor. Finally, I'm going to zest 1 lemon. I'll probably get about 1.5 teaspoons of zest here. I don't think I'll use much more than a 1/2 teaspoon, but I'd rather have a little bit of extra if I need to make a final adjustment at the end. All right, we're ready to go to the stovetop. I have about 1 tablespoon of oil heating up in the pan. I've used clarified butter, but vegetable oil is fine too, something neutral tasting. And I'll go ahead and put in my chicken pieces skinned down. They're going to cook this way on medium-high heat for about 9 minutes till they crisp up nicely. And then we're going to flip them over. And they're going to cook on the other side for about another 6-7 minutes. At this point, they're nicely browned on both sides. They're not quite cooked through, but we're going to go ahead and take them out. There's a lot of rendered fat now in the pan, so I'm going to extract all but maybe a tablespoon or so of the fat and the rendered chicken fat, or the schmaltz, and just leave a little bit in there. And now I'm going to turn the heat back on and add our shallots. We'll cook these for a minute or so until they begin to soften. And now we'll add in our garlic. We'll cook that just for a few seconds. And then finally, we'll add our tarragon. Give that a little stir. At this point, I want to deglaze the pan and get all the crystallized juices off. So we're going to pour in our white wine and just scrape down the bottom of the pan, get all those crystallized bits of chicken to get diluted and add that flavor. We don't want to lose it. And we're going to continue cooking this down on medium or high heat until we've lost about 1/2 or more of our volume. And at this point, I'm going to go ahead and add in our chicken stock, give that a stir, and put the chicken pieces back into our pan, skin side up. I'll turn down the heat to low and cover our dish, and it's going to cook on low heat, covered this way, for about 15 or 20 minutes. That should be enough to cook it through, especially given the fact that we've pan fried the pieces of chicken for about 15 minutes. So we'll leave that cooking and we'll be back soon. The chicken has been cooking for about 20 minutes and it's done. So we're going to remove the chicken pieces onto a plate and we're going to finish the sauce. For that, we'll add in our half cup or so of heavy cream and give that a stir, and add in our lemon zest. So to thicken this, we'll cook it down on medium heat for a few minutes till the thickness is right, and stir this from time to time because you don't want the heavy cream to burn on the bottom. This has been going for a few minutes. It's thickened up slightly, which is perfect, and we'll go ahead and return the chicken to the pan. We'll stir it around a little bit so it gets coated, and we'll continue to add the chicken pieces over low heat so the sauce can thicken a little bit more. Okay, at this point we're ready for a final garnish. This looks really beautiful. We're just going to spoon a little bit more of the sauce right on top here, and it's continue to thicken a little bit. And you can still, even the tarragon is a pretty hardy herb, so even though it's been cooking for a while, it's still coming through beautifully, as is the lemon zest. So we're going to have that going right there, and we're just going to top it with some fresh tarragon leaves. Like that. And a pinch of the chives, and we are done. Just put a little bit of mashed potatoes or baked potatoes next to that, or even some just fresh French bread, and you have a wonderful lunch or dinner. Enjoy the season and enjoy this recipe. Bon appetit.